Washington, the other name is disappearing. Washington was among the experts who designed the London decongestion system, how
Wow.
to decongest a city. And he was approached by the government of Kenya, and the county government of Nairobi went and has been advising or being a consultant in terms of just understanding how to decongest cities. That's the impact of our series, which now, after I featured the only Kenyan living there, led to a policy formulation to place it under Senegal. So that is influence. And then let me just say, we have contributed to remittance inflows back home.
On your Daring Abroad series, what is the biggest impact it's had both on people in the diaspora and people in Kenya as far as perceptions on investing is concerned across borders? Any, like success stories or just things that happened. I mean, we've already had some over here from people commenting, Afro-Jamaican and other people, but is there one or two stories that you're like, oh my goodness, this is the reason why I started this, Alex?
Perfect. So I've highlighted the case of St. Helena Island, which now, after I featured the only Kenyan living there, led to a policy formulation to place it under Senegal. So that is influence. And then let me just say, we have contributed to remittance inflows back home. Pick real estate as an example, and the Jamaican friend has already said it, that because of our stories, you have people sending money back home in not just the normal social issues, but investing. So by showcasing an opportunity back home, real estate has been one of our partners. So you are influencing money going back home. We are influencing information, people being able to understand the various sectors they can invest in. Skills and knowledge transfer. So we've had the people featured, then you find a company wants to tap into the knowledge or the expertise of that guy. Some are able to work even for universities back home because we featured them under certain university, so their value. We've had experts in new areas, even AI. And one example, we've been collaborating with Mary Wacheke, who is the CEO of Data Networks, promoting AI and business. After we featured her, she was noticed and has been collaborating with Kenyan universities to raise awareness on AI in business and even teach students this new area of AI. She was in Kenya recently signing deals with the universities like Kabarak University. And then we've had, for example, showcasing this city called Konsa Smart City. So Konsa Smart City is what you find in modern cities. It's untold really, but for those who've been following my series, we've been able to demystify that, where we've had Kenyans abroad getting interested and going to set up companies there. Quite a big number of those who have invested in Konsa Smart City are diasporians who got to know the information through our series. So I'm talking of both home and away, that while we serialize Kenyans abroad, we also tell them what is happening back home and where they can invest. We've had government looking for experts. We featured a Kenyan in London. His name is Professor Washington. Washington, the other name is disappearing. Washington was among the experts who designed the London decongestion system,
Wow.
how to decongest a city. And he was approached by the government of Kenya, and the county government of Nairobi went and has been advising or being a consultant in terms of just understanding how to decongest cities. That's the impact of our series. That's the impact of telling the stories of Kenyans living abroad. We've boosted businesses. You said you are near Kevin Onyona.
Yes.
We featured him at his restaurant in Maryland. And one day he told me, the former President Uhuru Kenyatta went to eat there, just like that. And when he asked, they told him, we watched you on Alex Chamada's show. That is impact. And then when he started the other branches, we really were along with him. We did with him the one in DC Center and also the one in New Jersey. So I'm just picking some of the success stories that I can highlight. Great. We've showcased areas of education, for example. Many Kenyans in the diaspora went to the diaspora through education, and I think you know that. And education is normally one of the safest or a sure bet of finding your way in the diaspora, and especially if you have the resources to fund your education. So we began serializing this gentleman called Bob Mwiti, who had an initiative called Kenya Airlift, but it's now since been changed. The name is International Scholars Program. I met him in Florida when he was just beginning, and he had one student. His model is collaborating with the universities in the US, so they give you a loan at master's level and STEM subjects mostly, management, science subjects, and so on, IT. Then the university will give you a loan. Then when you begin to work, you'll pay that loan later, and you had ways of supporting the students back home through a circle to go through to get the initial funding for visas, travel, and so on. Right now, he has over 1,000 students in the US. That's a success story, and I saw him writing about it on Facebook. That's the power of knowledge. That's the power of networks, that you have a student who you don't know, where can they begin? If they get in touch with such people who understand the education system in the US, they can advise. Of course, not everyone can get it. I know that those who will say, oh yeah, I've been trying, I've not gotten a scholarship. It is a process, and it's on merit, and not everyone can just get it. But you get experts or people who are in that field, then they'll advise you. That's the impact of our series. You asked me to give you some of the highlights. So we feel proud that we made impact through our series, through knowledge sharing. We began a series called Daring Returnees, Daring Diaspora Returnees last year, to just also get the experience of the diasporians who returned. And some of them are those we had featured before and are now back home sharing the experiences. Even what has been mentioned earlier, it can be difficult settling back home, reverse culture shock, government bureaucracy, you want to do ABCD. So they come, we discuss those, and that is also the impact of our series. I can go on and on and on, but maybe I can break there so that we can see if there are any inquiries about what I've said so far.
Okay.